Hey TikTok, it's Blythe, aka Sailor She. I have a master's in Irish mythology. Let's go. So, this topic is complicated and confusing and frustrating. And there's a reason for that. So, when we're talking about the other worlds or talking about the fairy, there are some people who are like, fairies are always like this. Or if this happens, it's definitely a fairy. Or that can't be a fairy because blah, blah, blah. So, you know how there's countries all over this planet and there's different kinds of people in each country and they all have their different cultures and backgrounds, and sometimes they intermingle and create new things, and sometimes they don't get along, and sometimes they really do get along, and they'll share art and history, and sometimes people will steal stuff, and you know how it's called kind of like a mess. So if you were trying to describe to an alien what it is to be a human, but specifically to be, say, an American human, or an Irish human, or an indigenous United States human, whatever, you're going to have to go into more and more specifics. Well, the other worlds are the same, but way bigger. And there's the added complication where beings from the other world will also interact with the human world. So you can't make blanket statements like, oh, this is what is a fairy and what isn't a fairy. And there's also, you can see this represented in the cultures of people all around the world, where they'll have different stories and different names for these beings entirely. So fairy is more of a European, French, British, generalized etymology of the word, and Morgan Daimler goes into much better detail and can go into this way better than I can. So please go follow Morgan. But that's just a word. It's just something that we use to describe like a vast plethora of beings that are kind of beyond our comprehension. So to pull it down and say, no, this can't be, or this can be, or this definitely is, it gets very complicated. So if this is a field that you're researching or working with, or a frustration that you're having, like, it's okay. It's frustrating. Even studying Irish mythology, it's very frustrating. It's complicated. There are contradictions. A lot of things were written down by monks, so there's like infiltration of Christianity, and it's a mess. So it's okay to be confused. Not everybody knows everything for certain, including those of us who work with the other world. So keep that in mind.